Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mislav from the other side of the screen, and today we are going to talk about the basics of Emacs. So Emacs is one of the text editors which is the sort of de facto text editor for Linux alongside V and Vim, and today we are going to learn the basics of it. Okay, so before we begin, I just want to tell you that you most likely won't have Emacs running, not running, but you won't have Emacs installed in your Linux system. So what you need to do first is type this command. So sudo apt-get install Emacs. Okay. And this will install Emacs for you on your Linux machine. If you don't already have it, and most likely you don't already have it. However, if you install it or if you already have it, if you want to start it, you can just type in Emacs. Okay, just press enter and it will open up the Emacs application. Okay, and we are going to focus on this Emacs tutorial because this is what is going to teach us how to use Emacs. Now, I actually encourage you to go through this Emacs tutorial. Now, you may be thinking, oh, it's really long, I don't really have time. Well, listen, it's going to take you maybe a couple of hours, maybe 4, maybe 5 hours at most if you're like relatively slow and easily distracted. But I think that it is going to be worthwhile investment of your time. However, I will give you some pointers on what to focus on as you go through the tutorial. Okay, and here you can see this, but I actually have a list of the stuff that I want to go through in this tutorial. Okay, so you can navigate your Emacs with the arrows on your keyboard. Okay, so let me use my arrows, and you can actually even use the page up and page down to actually go down a couple of pages or go up a couple of pages, etc. Okay, so in order to go to the beginning of a file, right now I'm somewhere that's not the beginning, I can type in Alt and the less than sign. And basically, if I type in Alt and less than sign, I am at the beginning of a file. If I want to go to the end of the file, I type Alt and the greater than sign, which actually gets me to the end of the file. If I want to stop commands, I use Control G. And that's something I cannot demonstrate, but if you actually have a command and you want to stop it, you press Control G. Okay, so let me just go back to the beginning of the file. And right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some magic. But as you can see, I opened up 2 windows. Okay, now if I just want to close this other window and just want to leave the stop one open, I type in Control X 1. Okay, and it closes up the other window. In fact, the way I opened the other window was just Control X2, which opened up this window. And if I again want to close it, Control X1. Okay, if I want to cut text from the cursor position to the end of the line, I use Control K. Okay, so I have just cut a portion of the text. A uniform method to kill a portion of my file's contents is to press Control space and then navigate to the point where I want the cut to end and then press Control W. Okay, now if I want to, and by the way, cutting in Emacs is referred to as, killing. Okay, so when somebody says I want to kill someone, you shouldn't, it depends on the context. If it's in the context of Emacs, that it means cutting. If somebody says that in real life, well, maybe you do not want to hang out with that person anymore. Okay, so basically, if we want to paste the thing we just cut, and pasting is referred to as yanking, you can type in Control Y. Okay, and so let's paste the thing we yanked before here. So if I press Control Y, I get the same thing. However, if I want to go back in history of the things that I cut, I can just press Alt Y, and I will actually kind of go backwards in my history of the things that I cut, okay, or killed. Okay, so this is it. If I want to save a file, I can press Control X, Control S, and then it's going to ask me here which file I want to save in, and I will write tutorial 2, press enter, and it will write these contents in that file. Okay, If I want to find the file to open up in Emacs, I can press Control F, and Control X, Control F, and then I can type in the file name which I want to open, which can, for example, be tutorial. I press enter. Well, tutorial and tutorial 2 are pretty much the same. So right now I'm just going to press Control X and Control F and find tutorial 2 and press enter. And so now I've opened up my tutorial 2. Okay. To end my Emacs session, I can use Control X, Control C. So Control X, Control C for killing my Emacs session. I'm not going to do that. If I want to undo a change, I can do Control X, Control U. Okay, so Control X, not Control X, Control U, but Control X U actually undoes the change. As you can see, I just undid the thing which I previously did. Okay. So now if I want to try and press Alt Y, I can't do it because it says previous command was not a yank. Okay, it just said it when I clicked it, it disappeared. Okay. So anyway, if I want to delete stuff, I can just do it with my backspace. So, just kind of like hold backspace. I mean, we're just talking about basic stuff here. So you can just hold backspace to delete things. Again, if I wanted to replace a string, I could type in Alt X. Okay, so Alt X and type in replace string. And then I could give it two arguments. First argument is the string to be replaced, and the second argument is the string to replace it with. And I will end each argument with return. And I'm not going to actually execute this command, but just understand that, and it's actually described in this tutorial that you can replace strings with this command replace string. And first you need to press Alt and X. Okay. So if I want to leave this command, what did we say? How do we do that? Well, we press Control G, and that way we kind of exit the command, which we don't want to execute. Okay. And what else did I want to talk about? To search from the current cursor position onward, I will press Control S, and then I will type in the search term. So let's say I'm searching for the word note. Okay. If I want to advance further in my search, I can press Control S again. Okay. And then Control S again. And if I want to go backward, I'll just press backspace. Okay. If I press enter, I will terminate the search. Now, if I want to actually, if I want to search but backward, so this was forward search, I can also search backward, but then I would have to press Control R, but Control R happens to be the key which I use to start and stop the recording, so I'm not going to use Control R. Okay, and so basically you can use Control S and write replace string. Okay, so this portion of the tutorial discusses replace strings. So if you're interested in that, feel free to check it out. Okay, and I really hope that you will go through a tutorial, because again, it's very well written, it's really good, and just kind of listening about these commands ain't really gonna do a lot. You really need to try them sort of on your own pace, on your own keyboard. That way they will really sink in. Okay, at least for me, it works that way. Okay. So I'll press Control G to quit this current command, and I hope that you learned something useful, and I hope you'll stick along with me in this incredible Linux journey. Talk soon.